Hey, what's up everybody? This is Chris. Today we're going to be swapping around the rear subframes on my E39 wagons that I have to the left and right of me right now. The silver car is a 528i that I started the swap on, but for a lot of reasons I ended up buying this parts car right here, which has like a cleaner chassis, a cleaner frame, and actually some extra features like a better security system, and just overall it was a nicer car that I got for a good deal. So what we're going to be doing is taking the reinforced and also polyurethane bushing awesome subframe from the silver car, and we're going to install it into the blue car. But that means that this car is going to have the exhaust removed, and then we're going to be removing the drive shaft, the e-brake cables, and swapping everything over here. And then hopefully we'll be removing the front subframe and engine from the silver car because we need to install our new clutch as well as our transmission, and then hopefully be able to take that assembly and swap it into the blue car right here. So first things first, let's try to get the exhaust removed and the heat shielding as well as the drive shaft, and then hopefully we'll be able to get the subframe out cleanly. Let's get to it. So we removed all the panels in the back of the trunk. Here's the compressor unit. It's held in by 2 bolts and 2 nuts, which hold it to the base here. There are 3 nuts that I can't seem to release, and I think it's because this is supposed to stay sealed. It has the compressor in there. This is the air manifold, the connectors, and the air lines. So we had to remove the air lines off of the T's here that go to the air tanks. So this goes to the air tank, and this end right here goes to our air spring. There are a total of 2 clips that hold the air spring in place, so even when it's aired out completely, it will stay up here on the top hat. So after we removed those clips, undid the air line, the air came out. We disconnected the power so it doesn't try to air these back up until we code the car. So that means that the air struts are disconnected from up here. So the rest of the subframe should be ready to drop. Here too, you can see the OEM air suspension bag reservoirs. I guess these are for excess air, and I think that with the OEM bags, it gives you a little bit more cushion and makes it kind of like a softer ride because the air has somewhere to go between bounces, versus the air setup we're going to be doing with the aftermarket springs. There will be a larger compressor, but the air won't be going anywhere out of the spring. So let's remove those because we don't need them anymore, and then we will be able to swap our subframes. One down, one to go. All right, both subframes are swapped. The old 540 subframe is now in this car with the 540 diff. This subframe has our Bilstein shocks, Powerflex bushings, our M5 brakes, calipers and rotors, that is, M5 half shafts, and M5 differential, as well as the reinforced front differential bushing. So this is the money subframe right here. We're gonna put all the wheels back on the rear of these cars so that we can lower them down. Neither of them are going to have any springs inside of them. They will just be running struts. So they're gonna go pretty low here on the ground. Then we're gonna lift up the front ends of these cars so that we can pull the subframes out, get these motors swapped around, and that way we'll have the M5 motor in the 540 and the 540 motor in this silver 528i. All right, well, they said it couldn't be done, and we did it. So here is what an M62 drivetrain with auto trans looks like on 3 Harbor Freight dollies. That's right. So we've got this thing lowered on the dollies, 3 of them. I'm gonna need to go out and pick up another one because I need at least 2 for this one. I think probably 3 because we're gonna be installing the clutch in the next episode and the manual transmission at the same time before we put this over here. I do need some feedback on this engine bay because I'm so happy with how this one came out when we painted it. And I didn't show you guys the process, but we painted this silver stone to match the original M5 it came out of. And now I'm wondering if we should repaint this engine bay Blau, which is the original color of the car. It's kind of this blue with green and purple in it, but I'm wondering if we should paint the engine bay that color because although it already has a base coat on here, it's not very metallic-y and definitely not glossy, and I'm thinking that it might help the engine pop more if we had a glossy engine base. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if we should paint this engine bay. The next step is going to be cleaning this engine bay at least. Going to be pressure washing it, getting all the grease out of here, and then we're going to have to get this engine lowered. So we've got this all assembled, it's ready to put in here. As soon as this motor is in this car, I promise you we will be getting it done quickly, and then we can move on to all the useless modifications. I say useless, but I mean the fun ones, and that's going to be doing, you know, random upgrades like control arms and steering and suspension and stuff like that, all the fun stuff. But right now we just need to get this car running. So like the video, subscribe, stay tuned for more. I promise we're gonna have this baby ripping pretty soon here. See ya.